Hello, listeners. Today I have an incredible episode lined up for you. I'm super excited to dive into my matters with my super dope guest, Cubone.
Hello.
Now, amongst wearing many other hats, Cubone is the personal chef to legendary rapper Snoop Dogg. So I am thrilled to have you here today, and I'm super confident that our conversation will be enlightening and engaging. So, without further ado, let's welcome T Bone, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, world.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, could you tell the listeners a little bit more about you?
I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. I'm a native. Um, Raised by my great grandparents, my mother and father, in South Central Los Angeles. I was born and raised all my life. Lived in that community. Raised up. In that community. Started. As any other little child, kid growing up in the community. Just made friends and stuff. Go to school, come home for the lights, street lights cut on, and
Oh,
and then
yeah.
as a and as
The day.
growing up, you start playing sports and stuff. Baseball, I was like into baseball real good and stuff. Played drums and trumpet like in the school band and stuff like that. So that caught my eye. Then I think by like the junior high school, I started focusing more on the outside things in my community, like gangs, different other mischievous habits that was lurking around the community that you had options to join and stuff. So, and I
Yeah.
went the route that my parents and them was went to. So they was like my homies. We all grew up together, with our parents, and so our parents was best friends. So we had more like we were just all best friends, and we followed their pursuit. Being they was with
Right.
us, and in the parks with us and hanging. Because our parents was young then. You gotta realize we was all young babies, and our parents was young. So that's why our grandmothers was able to raise us and stuff. Because our parents lived with our
Right.
great grandparents. So yeah, I had a good
Yeah.
upbringing. Yeah, I had a good upbringing.
Good.
I was
Good.
firstborn too, so yeah, I
Oh,
was a
yeah. How
spoiled one.
many siblings do you have? Oh, you was the spoiled one.
Yeah, I'm the spoiled one. His grandmother would raise you and stuff and all that. So yeah, but I have seven brothers and six sisters.
Oh, wow. Big
Yeah,
family. Huge
yeah,
family.
yeah. It's mixed all up.
Oh, that's super dope though. Do you guys still have a
All have
relationship?
and stuff. Our brothers. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear
say
me?
it, say it again. Yeah, I can
I
hear
said,
you.
do you guys still have a relationship?
Yeah, yes. All my brothers and sisters, I have a relationship with them. I lost two brothers to gang violence, and I lost a sister to leukemia.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. I'm sure that was rough. And you
Yeah.
said you're from
That's
South
part of life.
Central.
Yeah.
You're from South
Uh
Central California. I don't it sound it's like a
Yes,
like
yes.
a lag. It's
Huh?
like a delay. It's like a delay. Do you hear that? It's like we're over talking, but it's like a delay.
No. But yours coming
No,
in
ain't.
clear and sound. I can hear it clear and sound.
Listen, technology's really been messing with us today. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
can hear
gonna
you real
try to
good.
we okay, we're gonna try to get through it.
Right.
Being in South Central California, I've never been to the West Coast. So that's where like the movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and all that stuff was like filmed at, right?
Yeah. Waist deep with Tyree in the game. Yeah, yes. Most NWA straight out of Compton, Boys in the Hood. Well, Boys in the Hood was South Central. Men's Society was South Central and Watts. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's South Central. The Crenshaw district is the borderline of South Central LA. Then you have West
Okay.
Side LA, South LA, and East LA. But you got the East side of South Central and the West side of South Central LA. That's the black community.
Okay. Are all four like bad community, not bad communities, but it's like gang violence in every single one,
Yeah,
or is it more?
every single one from Compton, Watts, Carson. Torrance don't have too many black gangs, but Torrance have Mexican gangs and white gangs and stuff like that there. But yeah, all the communities have something going on. Even West LA towards Beverly Hills, Venice Beach, all the way there. There's Santa Monica. Yeah, that's all. LA, California is, I mean, LA, Southern California is infested with it. Like every
Really?
community, whether it's Mexican and black, yes. Now it's
Wow.
Tagger gangs. You got Tagger gangs. It's not just Bloods and Crips. You got Mexican gangs, Tagger gangs, Crews, and different type cliques and stuff, all that. But they look at them as gang because a gang was brought up in society that every three people. If you're more than three people in a group, you're considered a gang.
Okay.
That's
I
how
didn't know that.
society elects it. Yeah, they if it's four people hanging together, you consider a gang.
So
You're
is
not
that
considered
like
four friends.
no? Even
No.
if you're not in a gang?
Not when they look at you like that, when the police look up at you and they roll through these communities and they see four young black brothers or four young Mexicans walking around, they consider it as a gang. And they would use that as a profile stop, a reason for stopping. Oh, we thought you was in a gang, But that's and then that makes it's like intimidation, and it's also being sarcastic, and it makes the people want to get in the gang just because, you know what I mean? And that's what they want
Right.
you to do so they can get money. It's just divide and conquer. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's been the narrative for I don't know how long. Like it's a shame. But um so you mentioned that you were in a gang.
yes.
You care to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I started gang banging when I was like 15 years old. I was riding dirt bikes and stuff from the park, from the neighborhood to the bike. I was doing bicycle motocross for real. And I'm like 14 years old, 15. And then I started seeing the gangs was rise. A lot of my friends that I went to junior high school with, elementary school with, they started gang banging. I didn't want to join the gang because I knew what it was, what it's all about. You know,
Mhm.
see my daddy and mama do it. So I was like, nah, I don't do that. But then one day I was approached by some dude that tried to take my bike from me, and they was in a gang, and they tried to take my
Mhm.
bike, so I didn't let them take the bike from me. I got away from them. I actually threw the bike at him and took the bike back and took off on the bike. I ride dirt bikes for a living, so I knew how to ride hop curves and do all that stuff. So I was fast on the bike getting away, but it also
Okay.
made me bitter. It made me bitter with these dudes. So I was wanting
Mhm.
revenge on them. So I went and got a couple of my friends, and we went and jumped on the dudes. Caught them dudes slipping and jumped on them, and then they was
Mhm.
looking for us. So our community riding around looking for us. And then we had got wind they were looking for us. We didn't. I knew what to do. My friends, they weren't like that. So I went and got some my friends I grew up with. I knew that I was with the business against them, go against them with that. They was in the gang. So I
Mhm.
grabbed them, and then once they did that with me, I just joined the gang with them. They were friends. I grew up with them. They came to protect me, so I figured that okay, I'm gonna do this. I try to fight the feeling now.
Mhm.
I started cripping. I started joining Five Deuce Crips, and then from there took like a leadership role, and as time went on, and started another gang and influenced some other gang members. And I was just recruiting for a playground that I didn't realize we didn't want to play on. You know,
Right.
it was
Right.
it's life threatening. It's life threatening. It's not fun and games like these kids take it today. They look at
Yeah.
music and they rap about stuff, lifestyles. Back then, you couldn't rap about the lifestyle I lived. You can't even tell some of the stories and the things that I've done, I've seen in my lifetime, in my generation. You can't tell no
Mhm.
war stories. No, silence is golden. There was
Right.
a reason for that. There was a reason for that. Because
Right.
things that you do, you consider far more dangerous than the average person. You can get locked up or lose your life for making statements and saying stuff like that. Doing certain things.
Right.
Like people make fun of this crip walking and stuff. You couldn't crip walk around us back in them days unless you was a crip.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
you didn't get along with somebody, you might lose your life doing that in a party. You know what I mean? You're wearing a certain colors and stuff. So today you can wear any color. You just say anything, which is okay. We learn our lesson. We get our blessings. It's okay to
Right.
now for everybody to mingle and hang out, and it's about the culture now. But back then, young, I'm my age, when I was 16, 15, 17, 15, 16, 17 years old, no, it wasn't no drinking fruit punch. What I'm saying? It wasn't wearing no red. It was gang banged out. And, it was whole no bars, no whole
Yeah.
bars,
Yeah.
kamikaze type of stuff, attitude, stuff that
Yeah.
you wouldn't bring into the house. We that sneak and hide from our grandparents and mothers and stuff and fathers. If the father and mother did it, they understood what you was doing. But if they didn't do it, you had to
Right.
sneak around and do it, like tattoos and stuff. Now my
Mhm.
grandmother warned me not to get tattoos, but I didn't listen. Hard head kid. I'm out there with the
Right.
struggle. I'm out there with what's going on with the streets now. The streets is my neighbor.
Mhm.
Picnics with the family. The homies is the family. Holidays, you spend it
Right.
with your homies, going to Magic Mountain and stuff. You're not going to family dinners at Thanksgiving. You hang with the homies. Every holiday, you're looking forward to being with your homies in the hood. You're not going with your family to auntie's house with your cousins and then from other side, and the same way the cousins that's joining gangs, I got cousins that I didn't hang with them. They was my
Mhm.
enemy. These are my cousins though. We grew up
And
together.
they were your
But now that I
enemies?
joined this gang and they joined the gang, I don't want to be in each other's presence.
That's deep.
So
That's deep.
yeah, yeah. So
Never
that's
really
that's
realized
that's a
how deep
life
it
of a
is.
gang. That's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just
like
like
you
a new
said,
um
but like you said, like the games, the way they are conducted now is completely different from when you were growing up, right? So the
yes,
fact
it's
that,
totally different. You let anybody in nowadays, anybody can join
yeah,
nowadays for the numbers. Back then it wasn't no anybody want to join. You had to have a certain type of character, certain type of lifestyle, and you have to have heart. You have no fear. You got to realize in all actuality, when you join the gang, you might be joining with good intentions, and your belief is in God, and your belief is in doing good things, and you know the difference between right and wrong and stuff. So when you join that gang, you're joining the devil's playground, basically. You're basically playing on the devil's playground. You're basically playing with the wrong. Everything wrong is right with you, and we know it's
right,
wrong though. Only thing is right is that we loving each other. That's the only
mhm,
thing right. We get along with each other, but we taking our love and hating on the other person and doing
yeah,
all more evil thing that you could think about to that person. You talking about taking
yeah,
people's lives. You talking about doing something to people. You talking about robbing. You talking about taking stuff to party. But we know it's a bad situation after you take that drug or drink that alcohol. And you young
yeah,
age, you're 15 years old. We underage drinking. We're being mischievous, but we're being bad mischievous. That we're going to juvenile hall for robberies, assaults, murders, burglaries and stuff like that. There, we're not selling drugs. We're not out here hustling. We gangbangers. We
right,
really take this to the neck. They don't take that. Now it turned to a fashion show. Now it's turned to hip hop. Now it's turned into movie scripts. Now it's turned into movies. All, that lifestyle was not to be written. Was not supposed to be written
yeah,
songs,
yeah,
movies. It wasn't
yeah,
entitled to that. You weren't entitled to that. You weren't entitled to say cuz or blood unless you was a Crip or blood. You weren't entitled to wear a blue rag and your pants sagging or your khaki suit unless you was a Crip or blood. You weren't entitled to Crip walk or blood walk. You weren't entitled to them things unless you was a part of that. You were
right,
scared to walk them certain streets. Everybody has fear. Even though you got a heart, you still have fear.
right.
So
So let me
it
ask
is
you
what
a
it is.
question. So I know you said that the reason why you joined the gang was because you felt like they came to your rescue when you needed them. Now, there are
Yeah.
so many other people who joined them for various reasons. Some maybe, not having parents. I know you mentioned that you had your parents, but they too were in a gang. So
Yes.
what do you think the main reason that people join, young kids, young black males, or you said you got white gangs, Mexican, what is some of the reasons that you think that they actually join into these gangs?
Well, a lot of them join it for company. A lot of them join it for protection. A lot of them join it because it's the fad. It's what's going on nowadays,
Yeah,
especially. They join it for protection because it's a fad. It seem okay. It's hip. It's cool.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You join it for them reasons. You join it family reasons. Got a lot of family members that's in it. You join it because of that. Your family in it. You follow and pursue. Are you leading? It's either you follow or leading. Um,
yes,
it's like joining anything else. It's a sport, but it's a dangerous sport. You
yeah,
losing your life. Now it's being disrespectful. Now it's turned to where people are being disrespectful to their parents because they figure they're in a gang. I ain't got to need you. I got my homies.
woo,
It's the devil. It's all the devil's playground. When you join that gang, you are joining the devil. No matter what you try to say, oh, I'm a good person. I don't want to fight these person no more. But it's something in that gang that you're doing wrong, and you know
absolutely,
that God don't like that, and you have to face the consequences of that. When you go to jail, God don't put you in jail. You put yourself in jail for whatever crime that you did. And it's wrong to go rob that person. It's wrong to go break it out. It's wrong to pull that trigger, just shoot somebody when they walking down the street, jump out and shoot them or kill them or wound them. It's wrong to jump out with knives and brown pack people and stuff because the color they got on. You know what I mean? That's
right,
all. Ain't nothing right about that. So
Right.
you know what you signed up for. So yeah, I knew it. I knew what I was doing. But these kids nowadays, they don't have a clue, and they need to go home. If
They
they ain't at
don't.
peace with God, they need to patch it up. They need to go home
Yeah.
and patch it up, make peace with God
But
and
you know
patch it,
what?
because these
You
streets
know
gonna
what?
kill them all.
They don't have a, like, so like you said, you mentioned God, right? Although you was, playing on the devil's playground, you still knew God. The kids today don't have no, they're not anchored in any kind of higher power. All you hear them talk about is being on demon time. All the, like, a lot of the music videos are like devilish and demonic. So they're aspiring essentially to be demons. And I,
Yeah,
for me, will never understand that. Like, what is the positivity in being a demon? Like, what are you getting from that?
nothing
Clout?
but some horns and wrong. Yeah, only thing you're getting is clout and negative, all negative attention that comes from negative attention. You get jail out of that. You make some
Right.
money, but you're not happy. You got to watch over your shoulder. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
You get all the attention that you deserve, but they're in the wrong places. Oh, you're going
Yep.
to jail. You're on the news for doing something wrong. People, you got to pack that toolie around you everywhere you go because somebody's after you. 9 out of 10
Yeah.
chance somebody gonna get at you. You might get at them. You're gonna get at each other. It's not a comfortable way of living. Period.
That's not. But too, these kids have a different way of running their gangs, essentially. Like you said, the way y'all were back then was more so like a family. You guys stuck together. But the kids today, they took the word gang and they just, like, it's used so loosely. Like, one minute they're friends, then they're not. Then they're setting each other up, then they're not, and then they're joining a different gang. It's like for play or
Right.
for clout. So,
Yeah.
like you said, if they were doing that in your community, would you say that they would probably be dealt with in a more permanent way?
Yes. Yes. More like off the top. But nowadays you can't do that because when they talk about discipline, DP, and people and stuff. You go to jail for that nowadays. Then you got people around here that's telling nowadays more than ever. So they're gonna tell on you. You can get jumped on a DP, and that person wearing a wire, and the police, they're gonna lock you up.
Mhm.
Because you're DP, and that's gang, and they say, you can get a conspiracy act for that stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So out
So
here we have something called real time crime center cameras. I don't know if you guys
How
have them
long we
out
right
there, but
now?
it's like where you have an actual, like, it's like a high podium, and they have
Well, the photo
um
place out here, they talking about
they
they
have
close
people
at six
really
thirty. It will
monitoring
be.
you in real time, right? So if anybody shoots, the cameras are so high tech that if it hears a gunshot, the camera automatically turns to where they heard the gunshot. If people are fighting, they're able to see the people. They have face recognition. Like, the technology now is just so much more advanced that it's kind of like, what what would be the point in you playing like that? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get caught outside of people telling, or the fact that you have the real time crime center. So they got police on the way. They're able to monitor where you're running to, what car you're going into, what happened, voice recognition. I think it's super beneficial, especially in certain areas. So do you guys have that in your community?
yes, yeah, we have that in our community too. They do that. It's called when you shoot a gun up. They've been having that. They
Oh,
really created that for New Year's Eve. It started out for New Year's Eve. People shooting guns in the air and detect where the shooting come from. That's what it started off to stop New Year's Eve shooting, and it worked. It worked. People stopped shooting guns on New Year's Eve in the air. Everybody was shooting guns. You found out who had guns on your block on New Year's Eve. Everybody coming out like 4th of July. It's legal. But now it's
okay.
not legal, and they started at that. So with so much gang bang shooting and drive by shooting, like I say, shoots now just over everything. So now
Mhm.
they're using it for that total. They just erased it from New Year's and put it for everyday catching, all day, 24 hours around the clock. So that's how they catch people. Yeah, because there's so many guns in the community. It's
Yeah,
just it's outrageous. Like right now, it's way too many guns in the community.
it is.
It used to be just in
Really,
gangs. Now everybody's carrying guns. Even
everybody.
the kids in the backpacks, and and all these random shootings that's taking place in these bars and these clubs and at these events and these parties. The security's not being on point. They letting people in with guns. Let's say friends. and then they
Yep.
friend get in there and shoot up the whole crowd. They just shooting randomly,
Yep. Yep.
at the crowds and people and stuff. So yeah, it's too many guns out here right now. That's why they put that shooting thing up like that. They recognize
Do
that.
you
Yeah,
think it's
it's most
been
definitely.
do you think it's been curbing the violence because
It
they
ain't
have the real
curbing the
talk?
no, no. It ain't curbing no
No?
violence. It ain't doing nothing but letting you know where the gunplay is at. Because when they do hear the guns, by the time they get over there, gunshots stop and the person is gone. So
Oh,
they
okay.
might catch the gunshot, they're not catching the people all the time.
Okay.
They just know it's a
Well,
gunshot
maybe
came in the area.
that'll transcend down to where you guys are because here they can see it. They're monitoring people in real time. So they can see everything.
Oh
You know
no,
what
they
I
got it
mean?
in
So like,
real time. They got cameras in parks right now. What they doing? They putting cameras in parks. Oh, they feeding real live time right now. Citizens app. We got Citizens app right now. That's the biggest feed. That's like the neighborhood watch now. The app is neighborhood watch.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
they have live feed now in like in gang area where hang out at like at liquor stores. They got live feed parks and stuff. They got cameras all in the parks now. They putting substations in the parks right now to catch people, but that's still not curbing nothing. People do stuff right up under the police station, right next door to the police station. Probably the most dangerous place to be is by a police station. That's where most of the crime is happening at, within a mile or two from the police station, or right across the
So
street from the police station.
so are they being bold or they just don't care?
They just don't care. And the police, they know the police ain't gonna do certain things. Police come out to go out and gum in that station. They're not tripping off that, and they know that if you act like you homeless and you walk around there, which most people do, camouflage the way they selling drugs, is they dress like they homeless and they stinking, and that's how they getting away selling drugs because they know the police don't want to stop you. They're not gonna stop a person's dirty, a mental health issue. They don't even mess with you. Most of the people it's not out there mental health or dirty. They just doing that to sell their drugs. That's their uniform.
I
Hey,
never
roll over in
heard
some
that
oil.
before.
Oh yeah, yeah. You go to the gas station and roll over in some oil with your little jumper suit. Roll over in some oil. Go down there and hang among some homeless people. They got them crazy checks. Everybody get a check every day of the week. Somebody got a check for something, whether it's county, Social Security, unemployment, or they got a heritage, a crazy check. They getting checked and they going down there flipping that check on that money. They getting dropped off right there. So the dudes mingle in right with them. Everybody downtown ain't homeless. Everybody in them tents ain't homeless. They got houses that they go home to after their 8 hours
That
of working downtown.
crazy. Like it's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of genius if you think about it. Like I'm
Oh, of
like
course.
intrigued. I've never heard that before. Like that's some real ingenious
Yeah,
stuff. Like
yeah, yeah.
how
See
do
where
you
y'all
think
at in New
to
York, Jersey. It's in New York and Jersey where y'all at. It's so many people, so it's really bad because y'all congested in apartments. See, we're a city congested in houses. We like Queens Bridge. That it's a
right,
city.
right.
There ain't no buildings down. Our downtown is the only thing that's building. Everything else is houses or projects, and our projects don't stack up like you guys projects stack up 15, 20, 30 floors. Ours is only one floor or a two-story high
Really?
apartment. Yeah, it's only one-story houses, and there's 50, 30, 100 of them in these projects. 100, 200, 300 units. The only apartments we have that consider projects is called the Jungles. Um, that's right
Okay.
off of Crenshaw. But them was like all apartments, a community full of apartments. Used to be white folks back in the days. And then the black, we took over that community and called Baldwin Hills. It's adjoined to one of the richest black communities. It's considered Black Beverly Hills, but them apartments is the jungle. And it's considered the jungle. The blacks gang named it the jungle. The community named the jungle is Baldwin Hills. You know, we named
Wow.
it the jungle in the gang. So that now that the gang named it the jungle, they just ran it out. And everybody in the world knows that the jungles.
This is that's the thing. I didn't know that you guys didn't have like the high risers. So it's
No, only
all
high rises.
just one floor.
Every project is one floor. It's got two-story apartments. You got an upstairs apartment and two stories. That's why it's two stories because you got upstairs bedrooms, upstairs living room, downstairs. They're big inside too. They're real big. Don't get it twisted. Some of them is nice. They nice. It's all up to you, but it's concrete. It's concrete floors, concrete
Yeah,
wall. Ain't no carpet. You put carpet in there if you want to. You know what I mean? But for the
yeah.
most of it, they're nice apartment places. It's just what the activities that take around that because you got to realize projects wasn't made for us to be moving. They really was made for veterans that came out the war.
Hmm.
But
Yes,
so
they
many
were.
blacks start coming and migrating to the West in the 60s, late 60s and early 50s. we couldn't go downtown. So the train came,
Mhm.
they dropped us off in Watts in South Central Los Angeles in the projects. The train run right past the projects. So that's how we migrated to South Central Los Angeles and Compton and Watts because we jumped a train when we migrated here from the south. We train jumpers. Well, we couldn't go
Okay.
downtown, so we dropped right there, and so that's how we started. That's how South Central Watts and Compton was created, the black community.
Okay.
That's where it
So
started at.
I do want to go back to something you said. That makes a lot of sense, and I want to know if you have any experience with this. So, as you said, there's the streets are flooded with guns, right? And it's
Yeah,
mainly in poverty-stricken areas. So,
right.
if you have a bunch of people who can't afford to eat, how are they affording guns, right? So, I have a
Hmm.
friend from Michigan. And well, he lives in Michigan, but he's from Chicago, and he would tell me that certain times, like you know, I'm not saying all police are bad, but certain police would tell like a certain drug dealer about like they would drop off a pickup truck with a tarp, and it would be full of guns, and they would alert somebody in the neighborhood, or they would just park it there because they knew in that area somebody was going to lift it to see what was up if it's been there for 3 and 4 days, which
Right.
is how the guns get on the streets. So do you really think that's a real thing, or do you think that's just situational? Or
That's situational. That's situational. If anybody's dropping guns on the streets like that, they got to be. That's a radical situation. You know what I'm saying? Most of the
yeah.
time, it's people just got access to buying guns. When the black
Okay.
community, we got access. We don't go to gun stores and stuff and guns.
Yeah.
Them gun shows and stuff. No,
Yeah.
the inner city community is getting guns from breaking in people's houses or somebody come to sell it to them. A security guard or something might be slipping. You snatch his gun from him or something. Or you the police. You got to break it. Police gonna take it. But when you drop a truck off in the community with a trunk full of guns and all that, that's not normal. That's not gonna happen. They're
It's
not doing it
not.
like that. No, it's not gonna happen like that.
Several
They're
people.
not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that because it'll backfire. It's a backfire. Just like when they put cocaine, they thought cocaine will come to the community and we was gonna make a lot of money. We gonna sell it. They're gonna bust us for drug buses and do all that.
Mhm.
To these 10 days. No, what ended up happening is we end up making money off of it, and it backfired. And we started buying stuff, buying into their property, buying into their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And then we got addicted to it. It backfired. It backfired on us too because we feeding our own people. Now we got addiction. Look what cocaine did to our people. Took everything from them. Took their house and home, the morale, the composure. They start stealing from the family more than they ever stole. You know what I mean? And now look at this stuff they got us fitting on, all these other drugs, mental health issues. Well, any drug you
Yeah.
take will give you a mental health situational problem.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a strong drug and a synthetic type of drug or a drug that you ain't supposed to be consuming. It's gonna mess you
Yeah.
up anything too much or something. So yeah, it's all about money and sales, sex, money, and violence sales. It's a part of nature.
Yeah. It
Violence
is.
been selling. They've been selling us as slaves for hundreds of years. So
Mhm.
human trafficking has been human. They just named it to fit the area of the years now. It sounds good to
Right.
say human trafficking. It don't sound good to say kidnapping. Oh no, that's not for human trafficking. Sounds good
Yeah.
at trafficking
Yeah.
humans across these states, kids,
Yes.
men, and women. It don't matter.
Mhm.
You're human. So
Right.
they put a name on it and they put an extra charge on it. Oh, they give you 100, 200 years for human trafficking. You might get 5 years for pimping and pandering. But they're not
Right.
arresting you for pimping it. They're messing the old dudes for pimping and pandering, and they arresting these young dudes for human trafficking and giving them 3 life sentences, 4 life sentences. Man, you'll die and go to hell and still be in prison. Who
That's
gonna
crazy.
live 4 life sentences? Who lives? You only live one life. So you mean tell me y'all give me 4 life sentences just to make it sound good? You talking about a
Yeah.
thousand
Yeah.
thousands of years. You might as well just say life without the possibility. Don't say 4 life sentences because I can't do the 1 life sentence up. When I finish that 1 life sentence, how I'm gonna do the other
It's
3?
cool.
I'm
Done
dead.
up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That
So
was
y'all
funny.
know something I don't know. Last I checked, y'all don't know no different than more than I know. Anybody talk to God himself and went to heaven and came back? Y'all assume y'all did in your dream. You don't know if that what it looked like.
This is true. So do you guys have a fentanyl epidemic out there?
Yeah, yeah. Not like it
Yeah.
is out there in New York and Miami, that
Yes,
K2 and stuff.
bad.
We don't have
It's
that like that. We have a fentanyl problem because it's not the fentanyl is not you buying fentanyl. Fentanyl is in everything. It's in the cocaine, it's in the weed. They put it in food now. They put it in everything that sells, that's
how do you put it
consumed.
in weed? How do you put
Yeah,
it in weed? It's
sprinkle it in there, sprinkle it in there, sprinkle it in there like you're doing anything else. Mix it in there. You don't see it. You don't see it in the
oh
food. You don't see
no.
it in the when they put in the cocaine and the heroin and stuff. It's a powder substance that you can turn into liquid something. You can make it any way you want. You can turn it where you want to. You know what you're
So
doing,
you
and
know
that's
how
exactly what they do.
some got like white crystals and all that. So really that could be actual fentanyl.
Yeah, they could be. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly.
Wow.
It
We
could be
can't
meth.
smoke
It could be meth.
nowadays.
It could be meth. Yeah.
We can't even smoke
Just
a
like you gotta
blunt.
watch
That's
it. Just like you
crazy.
gotta watch what you eat. Yeah. Yes. I know a little dude, a friend of mine, her son, the only kid she ever had. And he suicided. And when they ran the autopsy on him, they found weed and fentanyl in the system. And they found that the weed was the fentanyl. The weed was laced with fentanyl.
That's insane.
Well, back
That's
in the day, they used to spray weed with liquor to make it taste better and stronger. So,
did not
now
know
they
that.
putting fentanyl in it. They used to put cocaine in weed, they called them primos. They used to put Sherman weed, they called it lovely. So now they putting
Yeah.
fentanyl in weed and they call it fentanyl. It ain't no other
So
name for that.
so here's the thing. Like, so all right, maybe I'm misunderstanding. So I know people back in the day used to lace their blunts, right? So
Right.
when you say that, I'm thinking that maybe the people who's selling it are the ones putting fentanyl in it. Or is it that, or is it people themselves lacing their
No,
own
it's
blunts?
both.
Oh,
More than likely,
ah,
it's people that's lacing it because people that smoke weed don't really take fentanyl. You know what I mean? They're not
okay,
buying weed to put the fentanyl in. Not unless they're already a fentanyl head. They just find other ways
yeah,
to do the fentanyl.
yeah,
Before as the weed dude that's smoking weed, he getting played because he's going to buy it from a dude off the streets. That's why people go to dispensaries now, or you go to somebody you've been knowing.
right,
You just don't buy weed from anybody off the street because they'll lace that stuff with fentanyl, and you don't know. They just trying to get it high. Just like when you go into these stores, mom and pop stores, they have these Advil for sale and
hmm,
Pampers and all that stuff for sale. Them stuff ain't real Pampers. You think Huggies delivered them Pampers to them store? You think Tylenol is giving them Pampers to them store? No, they come from Mexico and they put the fentanyl in that, and that's how they selling the fentanyl to the Tylenol. They don't care how they sell it, as long as they sell it and what they sell it in. So when you go to these Pamper stores and buy that Advil from that Pamper store, then you take that Advil, that Tylenol, and it's clearing your headache up. Then you go to CVS and buy the Advil from them, and that Advil not clearing what that Advil is doing. So you gonna go right back to that mom and pop store where you got that Advil at and take it because you feel, oh, they got the right batch. Ain't no right batch. It's all the same. No, that one
yeah,
you might find that mom and pop store generic from Mexico and it's synthetic. Just like the Pampers, they not hold no water when the kids pee. They send you a case of Pampers sitting mom and pop store. When did they, no, you better not buy them Pampers. Them Pampers is fake. They run through the water and the kid pee on themselves and everything. You know.
oh wow,
But broke people don't have money to go for it, Huggies, the real diapers, so they're gonna settle for that. They're gonna settle for the
you better
for the
use
synthetic, the
Amazon.
fake. Yeah, come on now.
Amazon delivers everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just an
So
epidemic. It's a fad.
yeah. And I'll say too, like people, like a lot of people pop pills now. And I know that there's not a lot of Percocet out here. It's really just fentanyl. And there's a lot of younger kids overdosing and dying because of pill popping. So
Yeah, because
that's
they made it. It started off with ecstasy pills. Ecstasy pills started the
yes,
party scene,
yes,
and that
yes.
after
It did.
that you couldn't get it the high for that because it's a mood swing. Mood joint
Yeah,
enhances your mood. So when they didn't get that no more, they start putting meth in it. So now it turned to an addiction, and most people didn't thought I'm not off of meth. I'm not off meth. I'm off ecstasy. Yeah, you off of meth or heroin or cocaine.
yeah,
Heroin, cocaine, and it was heroin and cocaine and LSD in it at first, heroin. And
mhm,
now they couldn't put in
yeah,
the heroin, so they start putting the meth in it. They couldn't get the MDA, whatever it is, so they started meth and stuff in it. So it took away from the mood swinging and the high attention mood swing to having you up for days and days. So you get addicted to it now. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
addicted. Turned to an addiction.
And when they
It
become
wasn't a party drug
addicted,
no more.
right. And when they
Yeah,
become addicted, that starts to alter their neural wiring, right? To essentially
right,
start making
right.
them hallucinate or act, outlandish, or you know what I mean? Like start making them act
Yeah,
crazy, where they essentially move into mental health, but further mental illness because it,
right.
it creates a chemical imbalance in your brain, right?
Right, right, exactly. It's chemical balance in the brain, and that's why
Yeah.
everybody is attacking this mental health because a lot of people are in denial that they're dealing with mental health because
Hmm.
they know that they don't want to be in denial that this drug is really what's messing them up, and they like what they
Yep.
taking or they like what they
Yeah.
drinking, and this
Yeah.
lean syrup and all that old
That
stuff.
lean.
It's
Yes.
yeah, it was, back in the days, there was very few people that did that because you couldn't get it. You had to go to the pharmacy and get it, that robot tested. Now it's
Yeah.
high tech. It's come from Mexico. It ain't right. And these kids is running around here drinking it like it's Kool-Aid and soda,
Yeah,
not
they
knowing
are.
it. In the long term, it's messing you up. It's messing you up just like alcohol will mess you up. Even worse because you dealing with all these different drugs in that cough syrup.
Yeah, but that's why these kids is batshit crazy today because of all the stuff they're putting in their bodies and allowing to, change their thought processes. But a lot of people are taking different substances because they're dealing with a lot of things internally and they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to get help.
Right,
So
right.
some type of substance essentially will get you out of your reality just for a minute. So,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is why mental health needs to be spoke about more so people feel more comfortable being vulnerable and not feeling like they have to turn to substance abuse or alcohol to deal with the problem that's going to remain once that high or that drunkenness goes down, right?
Right, right,
Um,
right.
I do,
Yeah.
I do, I do want to talk to you about the Rodney King riots, right? So
Okay.
that
92.
occurred in LA in California around April and May of 1992.
April 29th, 1992.
And I know that you had something to do. I've been doing my homework. I know that you had something to do with the Bloods and the Crips actually kind of putting their flags down and kind of coming together for the cause. So
Yeah,
let's
well, you got to
dive
realize, during the Rodney King riots, I don't call it a riot, I call it a civil unrest. Tired. It's
into civil
tired. People just
unrest.
like to watch. Yeah, just like to watch riot with 65. The civil unrest. They had
Yeah.
jumped on people back then. Which had to be my uncle. Matter of fact, it was my uncle and my daddy was together in 65. Watch riot started. They had jumped on my uncle, and that's how the watch riot started. Um,
Okay.
jump to 92 when Rodney King got jumped on. That didn't start the riot. Let's get that out the way. That
Oh,
didn't
it
kick
didn't.
off. That kicked off. No, that kicked off anger. That kicked angry folks all over the world. That was angry. They was angry. They wasn't out though. They were looking at it on TV, huffing and puffing, angry, coming out their houses
Yeah.
mad. What happened was on Florence and Normandy, um, a little black dude was getting harassed by the police, like the Normandy crash. Community resource
Mhm.
against street on them. They was harassing a little young dude, trying to get him in the police car, forcing him in. He was not trying to get in. They was trying to push him in and do all this here. At the same time, the verdict come out. So now you got a lot of mad people coming to their houses and look at the police on the TV, and then they come out their doors and looking at them right there harassing a little black kid. Oh, this ain't going down no more. And this is a gang
Right.
infested street, so it's gang members on the street. But your mom, your dad, or the older lady will come out and say, "Boy, y'all leave them police alone. You better not be saying that to the police. Y'all get away from them police. Let that stuff alone." For they, you listen. All right, Mr. Such and such or such and such. You go about your business. Let them do their thing. But this time, the parents was like, forget that. You can't be doing that. We're tired of this. And the gang member looking, what? You tired of this? Well, it's only one thing to do. They start doing what they do best. And parents start saying, yeah, go ahead and do that. Do that. It's okay. The anger is making the parents okay for us to attack. So they attack the police with whatever they had to do. And you see the police backing out. But now this is being on television. One situation on television. Now it's on all news channels. Oh, they're 70th and Normandy, Forest and Normandy. They're getting to it with the police. Oh, the police is putting back. So now the whole world is seeing that the police was drawing, and now these dudes is running in the stores and they rocking people that's coming up and down the streets because now it's mad turmoil. It's some burst a bubble. It's some bust a bump now. It's on and cracking. So now everybody want to log in now. Now it's just like 65 Riot, everybody went to harass. But you got to realize right before that, before Rodney King, the Tasha Harlan, where the Asian lady killed the little girl in the liquor store right there on Figueroa in the hood, not too far from Florence and Normandy. So that's why the reason why the Koreans got hit. The stores and ran out of the community because there was a double flag. Y'all don't. This lady got found not guilty for killing a girl, a little innocent black girl in the store. Oh no. Then you find the police not guilty for beat Rodney King up. Oh no. So it's this is pressure bust a
Yeah.
pipe. Koreans, y'all got to go and forget the rest of the world. The police, y'all got to catch it. So that's what was going on right there, taking place. But we realized after so long, after 4 or 5 days of looting and lawless city, and you got reverends and people that's just looting for survival, for food, for straight survival of the fittest now. But then after all that
Yeah.
turmoil and go away and all that thing go away, we have nothing. We done burnt our own community. Ain't no gas station. People can't go to work. They ain't got no cars. We ain't got no clothes, no fun, no food stores. So if you didn't steal no food, too bad for you. Now you got to survive. So we realize we messed it up, and then everybody
Yeah.
blame the gang members for doing this and doing that. So I thank God. On my opinion, God entered peace into all of our hearts as gang members, and we want a peace treaty because if we didn't bring peace, then how is the community going to come back together? And because if we continue doing violence, and the community, the people that the churches, and the people that normally don't commit violence or indulge in violent activities are doing it now out of anger, they need to go. They need to stop. And the only ones who can stop that is the one y'all blaming to start it. And I think God placed peace in all our hearts. So we all came together in peace in one day. We didn't plan it. We didn't premeditate this here. It all came about like for real. And then once we all got together, about 3 or 4 days into it, I decided that I was going to go to a community program and ask them to help us because it's one thing to make peace, but how do you keep it in the days ahead? And
Yes.
this hanging in the projects and this gambling and telling prison stories and embracing each other, this going to play out. Then what we going to do next? So I had to think quick, and I thought of like how the Black Panthers did. They created a program to feed the black community. So we had to clean up our community. So we went to a program called Community Youth Gang Service. I did, and told them that hey, we at peace right now. They didn't believe it. They always like society. Oh, y'all up to something. Y'all finna try to do this something. But no, we're not. This is really a peace treaty going on. So they said bring back 40 people, and then they'll help us. Well, I came back with 2,000 people.
Did you really?
I came back with 2,000 people on that block, tear that whole
No.
block down. They had to call the police on us, but we was at peace. We didn't do nothing. So from that day forward, we created a gang intervention program. We created our own program, and to this day, the programs are still existing right now all over the country. A gang intervention program down in Jersey. My boy Akila Shears came and messed with the mayor of Jersey. They worked. They got their gang intervention program out there in New Jersey and in New York because of what we started out here in LA in '92. So they're all over the country now. Different gang intervention programs been funded because intervention means you intervene with those that's already in gangs. Prevention
Yes.
means you preventing the kids from getting a gang. So
Yes.
prevention measures go into elementary school kids and stuff like that. There,
Yep.
intervention deal with junior high, high school, and people that's already mindset that I'm being this gang, I'm in this gang, I ain't going nowhere. No, we can tell you how to get out this gang. You don't have to get initiated in. You don't have to get initiated out. You know what I mean? Different races have different perspectives and different rules and regulations they go by. Black gangs, we really don't live by no rules. We just live by respect and loyalty.
Mhm.
If you're being disloyal to you got what you coming. If you're a snitch, you got what you got coming. Now, disloyalty, you can be a snitch. It don't matter. Because the gang thing done played out. Ain't no value, no moral in that no more. Ain't no fear in that no more. I don't want to
So
join
what
the gang.
so what would you say to the children who not just children but like the younger generation who are in these gangs who feel like they can't get out? Because the misunderstanding is that, well, I ain't gonna say misunderstanding because back in the day that was a rule. Like you're not leaving the gang. Like if you're leaving, you're gonna die. Like that's the only way you can get out the gang. But like you just said, now there's not any real concrete rules that anybody follows. So what would you tell a person who was in a gang who feel like they don't have an out?
I'm telling the person like I tell everybody else. I tell these kids, these youth, I tell these older brothers, man, listen, this is played out. time is up. It's over. You need
Yeah.
to take that stigma of joining gangs, being in a gang. You got to take that stigma up off you, all the way up off you. It's like if I'm not in a gang, then why am I using the gang name? Why am I using the gang slogan? Why am I doing this and that? You know what I mean? That's aiding to wrongness if I'm not in a gang no more. So
Follow the
Right.
road
and a
for
lot of
11
lot of people
miles.
get in gangs because, like I say, they want a protection, but they don't. You don't have to pay or loot to get out of gang. Black gangs, you live a better life. If you live a better life and you chose to live a better life and you going about your life, the only thing the black gang gonna do, they're gonna be envy that you're not around them no more. That's the only thing they
Yes.
can do.
Yes.
Mexican gang, they live by a different rule. White gang live by different rules. We don't live by them same rules and laws. We live by better rules. We just still recruiting, And it's not the real gang members that recruit. Like me, I don't go recruit nobody. That's over with. And then a lot of these
Right.
people with attitude they have right now, I would recruit them into the gang no way. I'll be telling them go. They're the ones I'll be told go back home, man. Go to school, get you a job, man. You don't need to be out here with
For real.
us like this here. You
For
know what I
real.
mean? But we not out there like that no more. They're out there being cold. They're out there robbing and stealing. The black on black crime ain't because of gang. It's because you done stole something from somebody or you done did something to somebody. You know what I mean? You done borrowed something and ain't paid back. Or you done broke in somebody's house and stole their stuff and they after you. Or you done disrespect their kid or something like that. Or you done said something on social media.
Yeah.
That starts a lot of the killing, a lot of the shooting. That's social
Yeah.
media. You know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you think? Um, dang, what the heck? I was just about to. It went that fast. Um, yeah, social media is one of the number one things. You can't say this about me on social media. You can't embarrass me. The kids today, they're
No, no,
trying
no.
to. Oh, that's
It's gonna come back.
so. What I was going to ask you
Yeah.
was, do you think that today's music, this new generational music, is what really infiltrated the community to the point where they're being cold and feeling like respect is not a thing, I'm a demon, you're going to respect me, don't write about me? Do you think the music has a lot to do with it?
A lot to do with it. The music has a lot of influence on everybody today's life. We should
Yeah.
listen to oldies and R&B, but this hip hop ain't hip
Yeah.
hop. Hip hop is hip hop. This music right now that's out right now, these rappers that's talking all this crazy stuff and gang shoots and all those stuff like that and flashing these Draco, the choppers online. Y'all doing that because y'all don't actually living that life. And and
Yeah.
those that is living that life, um, you know,
They got.
they're not gonna show that. So when
Yeah.
anybody out here that's showing that is really labeling themselves for clout.
Yeah.
They chasing a false dream. Like they hard. You ain't hard because you wouldn't be doing that. And the consequence of what you're doing and saying, you wouldn't even want to go that route. Because prison life ain't fun. Uh, Being on
Right.
the run ain't fun. Being to have someone hunting you down and kill you and shoot you 1,000 times or stab you up 100 times, that ain't fun. That's scary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these kids
Yeah.
don't have that. They don't have no respect for each other or life itself until it actually happened. You talk that gunplay, you talk that talk. As soon as that gun right off next to your ear or by your side, you're gonna get scared. You're gonna tell on everybody. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
know,
And
talk
they
a
don't
good
never
one on
really
social media.
realize it until it's too late, when they're in jail or they're jammed
Right,
up. You
right,
know,
right.
murder
That's when
charge.
all the
When
praying and all the good start coming out when you in jail and you up against that barrel or you know
Yeah.
you,
And that's why they
you
start telling,
start
because they're not really about
pleading
that
your
life.
case.
Yes, because they're not really about that
No,
life.
it's
And I
not.
tell people
I mean,
all the time. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, they not about that life. But like you say, I would tell these kids today, man, live your life. Go find you something to do. If you ain't peace with God, patch it up. But go check into a vocational training, man. Go do something. Start your own business. Seek out school for a business course. Or, if you can start your business on your own, start doing it. People out here back to selling food on the corners, lemonade. People selling services like lawn cuttings, landscaping, and people
Yeah.
start washing cars and stuff. You got to get back to doing stuff because the social media and these apps and stuff that's not going to take it because once they fall off, it's a wrap. You know, we don't get the, you know, the kids don't play board games no more. They're not into
No, they
they're not
don't.
into fun.
They're
You know, no,
they're consumed
no,
by social media. They're so
right.
consumed. And I'm glad that I grew up in the era where there was no social media because we were able to be kids. We went outside and played. We went to house parties. We went to clubs. You know, we went roller skate. We went to the mall to, you know, check for boys. The boys checking for girls. We actually had a life. You know what I mean? It wasn't no cell phones. It was just be in the house before the street lights come on. That's when life was more simple. But now these kids have access to everything in the world in their palm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes,
And they're aspiring to be like these rappers. And I tell, you know, the younger kids that I talk to, like, you're listening to this music, but you guys aren't able to differentiate the difference. They're not living that life. They're sex sells, killing, robbing, violence, all that stuff sells. So they're giving you guys what you want to hear. But are they necessarily living that? No. But if you're not, if you still have a young, impressionable mind, you will take that on and own it and try to mimic that. And again, they're not going to realize how detrimental it is until they are in jail or they're sitting there with them homicide cops and really face the reality that they're going to be dying in a building if they don't knock it off. You know what I mean? Or if they don't
yeah, they
tell.
give you life sentences now. They giving out life
Yeah,
sentences like cookies
yeah,
nowadays. You
yeah,
know, just like I say, it's sad, but you know, we got to get closer to God. Whatever
yes,
your religious belief is, you need to get closer to God because, like you say, kids not going to Sunday school, they're not going to church, they're not even actually read the Bible, they're not even playing
yeah,
board game, they don't even look at religious movies on TV, they don't listen to preachers, you know, they listen to posts and quotes on Instagram and stuff like
yes,
that. That's
yes,
influencers and stuff right now.
yes,
That's why they create influencers because so many people on social media now, you create influencers and jobs. People
yep,
getting money off of that, you know,
yep.
lots of money.
But you know, it seems like once they took God out the schools is when everything really went to shit, right? So it was
Oh
like, you
yeah,
know, you used to
of
say the
course.
Pledge of Allegiance. When they took that under God, it's like when they started trying to extract God from everything. And from there, it just seems like God is like a thing of the past, or for us older people, we're not older, but you know, the a different generation than what these kids are today. So it's insane. I hope that you know they end up getting it together. But these are the types of conversations that need to be had. Someone who actually lived it. You know what I mean? Like you actually lived it. You went through it. Thank God he spared you. You did not succumb to the things that you were doing in the streets. And now you're using your voice to amplify what you went through and how to move beyond it. You're
Oh, of
active in the
course.
community, right?
Yes, I'm active. I'm a never going. That's my passion is helping youth get out of gangs and speaking to kids and adults about you know social change, nonviolent social change. You know, because I'm part of the Martin Luther King Center, Atlanta. So you know, I travel with them. Teaching 10 steps principles to Martin Luther King's nonviolence social change Kenyon called Kenyon, where he learned from Mahatma Gandhi. That's where he learned his nonviolence principles, the program for changing people's lives and social change. That's what Reverend King was very fond of this dude, Mahatma Gandhi. So that's where he got
Mhm.
it from. The
Mhm.
training for peace and social change got from. So I've been with them to Ferguson, Minnesota, Atlanta. Since '92, I've been doing that with them. You know, since
Oh
Coretta
wow.
passed away, and so me and her daughter, we continue to do the carry it out and stuff like that. You know, because Coretta King had adopted me as her spiritual son. So you know, when I was traveling with her, doing a lot with her since '92. Since '92, yeah, I took her and Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife, on their first trip to Los Angeles to the King
Mhm.
Hospital in '92. Yeah, so you know, a lot. That
Yeah.
riot, civil unrest, helped me a lot. You know, to the Million Man March, speaking, President Clinton inauguration, Jenny Jones show, Geraldo Rivera's show. You
Mhm.
know, met a lot of stars, Glenn Thurman, Queen Latifah, and them, Don Lewis, Jada Pickett, all of them. I was a camp
Take exit
counselor at Camp Gideon
229 to the
with Glenn
right
Thurman.
toward
You know,
Lakesmore Avenue.
different worlds. You know, I did it like 3 years Camp Gideon, teaching kids from the inner city, bringing them, teach them how to ride horses and do Western. And at
That's
the end of the
awesome.
camp, yeah, we put them in the black rodeo. So, I've done a lot of stuff in my community, created a lot of jobs for a lot of my friends that's coming home from prison. Giving them positive energy and morale that they can go further and do something in life. You don't have to just be stuck in the community. You don't have to do what's wrong. You don't have can nobody judge you and stop your emotion from growing. You know what I mean? You have to do that. So you yourself is never a failure.
But I really commend you for what you're doing. We need more positive Black male role models in these communities because this younger generation needs something and someone to look up to that's positive. Because everything in our world today is negative. Negativity wins, right?
Yeah,
So just
negativity wins. Yeah, it sells.
it does, and it's a shame, and we're losing our youth at a rapid rate, even to suicide, because they're so busy comparing themselves to what they see on that phone, and they don't understand it's a facade. People can post whatever they want to post. Doesn't mean their life is great. It's a snapshot, it's a picture, it's a moment. But so many kids, again, their minds are still developing. They're not able to differentiate fact from fiction. So they're comparing themselves to the Instagram models. They're comparing themselves to the dope boys or the rappers. And it's like, everybody's not meant to be a rapper. Go be a doctor. Like you said, go to a trade school. It's okay to not be what they deem cool. So you being in the community and you having other positive reinforcements is only going to help our youth. And that's why we have these conversations. I want to start popularizing the uncomfortable conversations, letting people know that it's okay to be vulnerable. That does not emasculate you. That does not make you weak. It's actually a strength because you're realizing that there's something that needs to be done within yourself. And the more positive people we have spreading the word and getting and boots on the ground and talking to these kids, just the better off we'll be. Well, they'll be too, because they're really the direct recipients. We're older now, but these kids need positive role models and positive reinforcements, because when you don't have that, they're just leaving it up to whatever they think is best. So I commend you. I commend you. I commend you. I know I've taken a lot of your time. I know you're in the middle of traveling. So I do thank you for taking the time out to have a conversation with me. Before I let you, I appreciate it. But before I let you go, do you have any specific lessons or insights that profoundly impacted your life that you want to leave the viewers with?
Like I said, y'all, man, my impact of my life when, in 92 was a big impact on my life for change, for better. And my life has been to say, like I said, God placed peace in my heart, and I've been at peace since then. And if He placed peace in everybody's heart, and they utilize that peace, because everybody got peace in their heart. But you got to utilize that peace that we have in our heart and bring it to the forefront of our lifestyle. We can't let our mind play tricks on us. We can't let our mind control our heart, because our mind can play tricks on you and get you emotional, and that's when you get in your feelings and stuff like that there. So I would tell people, man, don't join the gang, man. And at this time, day and age, it's not for you. It's not for nobody, man. Stick to your family first. Saying the family's first. Even if your family first is one of your closest friends, like family, value that. Value that, because nobody's promised a tomorrow. And today could be a bad day for some. Tomorrow could be the good day for you. So, give all glory to God and blessings and stuff. And like I said, that impact hit my life in 92. It changed drastically. A lot of opportunities that came from just me being Snoop Dogg's personal chef was one of the best things that came to me as awarded me in the career mode. Because I wasn't a chef. I wasn't nobody's cook. I wasn't selling food and plates or trying to open up a hamburger stand or none of that. I was into the community activism. I was actually a road manager for Mystical. I was into the hip hop community. I was a road manager for rapper Mystical and PD Pablo. I went on the road with Snoop a couple of times and stuff. So he asked me to be a chef on Facebook Live in 2016. I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. So I automatically jumped up to celebrity chef now, because I'm cooking for everybody. When I'm on the road, we're cooking for him in the backstage in the room. Every celebrity that comes in the room tasting my food. So so now I'm getting a name for all the celebrities, and I'm showing footage of me cooking for the different celebrities. So now I'm a celebrity cook, but I'm not cooking for celebrities can call me and cook for me. Only Snoop can call me. I'm cooking for him. Now I'm branding myself. I have my own cooking show coming out, Cooking with Cubone show, Cooking for Peace. Where I'm gonna go around the state and the country, doing the diners and dives. Critiquing guests and interviewing people at the food places. Sometimes I'm cooking at my place on the show. Cooking up game, with people, cooking up knowledge with people. Yeah, so that's what have achieved in my life for making Peace in '92.
So just so I'm clear, I know you said you weren't a chef. So like once Snoop asked you to be his chef, did you have to go to school real quick or did you just like figure it out?
I figured it out. I always been know how to cook. He ate my food
Oh, okay.
before. I always
Okay.
was the cooking. I always trashed it. I come bomb the kitchens. I come take over people's kitchen. Like if I go to a party and somebody barbecuing, I always be by the barbecue grill, and I'll try to stick their kicking. Like they leave their cooking and go somewhere, take a break and come back. I'll be there picked up the grill. And then some people say, "Oh man, you going to continue, bone." I ain't been. One dude, I went to his house and he didn't have no food. I went to his refrigerator and seen some chicken and some hamburgers. I started making food in his house out of his fridge. Like it. He said, "Oh man, that's cool." So a lot of people have ate my cooking. And, I heard they picnics. I'll be the one cooking on the picnics. So a lot of people know that I can cook. It's just that when
Mhm.
Snoop hired me to cook, often seeing my meals on Facebook every day, and then knowing I could cook, like I said, I baked some chicken at his house one time in the stove. Everybody like, well, that's smelling good. That's Cubone doing that. He's like, man, you can cook for real. So he knows I can cook. He knows we got history together. We good
Yeah.
friends. So when I got to be his chef, oh, that was I went on tour with him instantly, and I've been going on tour with him ever since then. You know.
Well, listen. When we spoke on the phone, I let you. I have never been to the West Coast, but I'm coming and I want to taste your food. I love to eat. So yeah, I want to taste the burger. I want to taste the chicken, whatever else you over there chefing up.
Yeah,
So
spaghetti.
yeah,
My main dish, my signature dish is spaghetti. Because why? We grew up on spaghetti, but a lot of us eat spaghetti the way we was grew up on. Italian way. Some people eat it now the Italian way, separated from the meat. We grew up mixing it all in once. Everything, bell
yeah,
peppers.
yeah,
Some we didn't have bell peppers and all. Really, we put hot dog with like wieners and just the sauce. Tomato sauce in a can. We didn't have all the jars back then. It was the can where grandma to make it. So I figured a way I want to make it in two or three different meats, bell peppers, and mix it all together. And then I had barbecue sauce on it. So I started calling it on the road. I started making it, and they started liking it. They were like, "Man, I ate spaghetti in years, man. Your spaghetti the bomb." So I said, "Okay, this one I'm gonna stick to. I'm gonna stick to spaghetti. Forget the chicken wing, the fish, and hamburgers. Everybody doing that. But ain't no too many blacks have a black spaghetti restaurant or menu
at
on their
all.
plates at all. So I created that. I started cooking spaghetti a lot, and so that came one of my main dishes. So when I do open up a restaurant or open up a food or selling something, oh, that's gonna be my main spaghetti. So I may
We're
call it a
coming.
spaghetti house or something. Yeah,
We're coming.
and
I'm
I that's
hungry.
and I'm not Italian, so I'm pushing it black. I ain't never heard no black barbecue spaghetti. Well, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna start hearing about it, and once I put
Yes,
it out there, it'll start ringing ears. Oh, it is because we always had a
absolutely.
black spaghetti. Yeah, black spaghetti been the way we mix it all together in one. We grew up, black folks mix spaghetti all in one. Italians, they separate their meat and sauce and they pour it
Yeah.
over the pasta. Once they drain the pasta, they don't mix it back in the bowl like that. They put the meat over the pasta. That's all
Right.
Italians do. And they have Italian sausages in there and meat in
Yeah.
there. So,
Well, thank you for officially making me hungry. Now I'm like
okay.
starving. I want
All
some
right.
spaghetti. So, well, definitely going to talk to you about getting out there. But again, I really do thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule to grace this very important platform. We just
Yeah.
never know who needs to hear our stories. You never know who needs the encouragement. So,
Yeah.
even your expertise, your insight, you went through a lot. I've done my research on you. You've done a lot
Okay.
of things. So I am very much appreciative, and I just commend you again, as I said before, and I just pray God keeps you. He keeps you covered so that you can continue to help his children because these kids need it. They
Yes,
need it.
yes,
So
yes. They do. They do. And they get it. Yeah, yeah. They do. I appreciate that. Give me an opportunity to come on the platform. Like I said, I listen to your show, and like I said, I seen Smart on it last week, and Ray Don,
yeah,
and so you get some good interviews and stuff. You got good topics and stuff like that, and you're bringing
yeah.
people aware of mental health, and you keep doing your job, sister. And a lot of people will be tuning in, and I hope that
I gotta
I'm
keep.
able to give a lot of insight to people out there, your listeners and stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you for giving us your insight. prayerfully, I'll just keep climbing and keep getting great people like yourself, and just keep, just keep elevating. That's what it's all about. God wants he's rounding up his children, because this world is it needs help. So I thank
Yes.
you for coming. To my listeners, I thank you all for tuning in. And I want to remind you that you matter, your mental health matters, and you are not in this fight alone. We all have a journey. So until next
That's right.
time, I thank you all for watching. Cubone, thank you. Any parting words?
Yes, you can find me at Big Cubone 52 on Instagram, on TikTok. You can Google my name and find my history about me. You can ask around about me. Run my name, do the research. And appreciate y'all. Y'all,
Google.
everybody have a blessed life. Yeah, Google me. I'll pop up somewhere, or hashtag Snoop Dogg personal chef. You'll find me somewhere on any one of your
Yes,
platforms. Like I say,
yes,
you can ask God about me. I'm quite sure He'll tell you I'm anointed.
that's right. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, yes, yes.
But it was definitely good chatting with you. Thanks, Cubone.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
All right. See ya.